Nuestra C plus or minus Hora de La Paz, commonly known as La Paz, is Bolivia's third most populous city, the seat of the country's government and the capital of La Paz Department. It is located on the western side of Bolivia at an elevation of roughly 3,650 am above sea level. It is, de facto, the world's highest administrative capital. While the official capital of Bolivia is Sucre, La Paz has more government departments. The city sits in a bowl surrounded by the high mountains of the Altiplano. As it grew, the city of La Paz climbed the hills, resulting in varying elevations from 3,200 to 4,100 am. Overlooking the city is towering triple peak Tilimani, which is always snow-covered and can be seen from several spots of the city, including from the neighboring city of El Alto. As of the 2008 census, the city had a population of 877,363. La Paz metropolitan area, formed by the cities of La Paz, El Alto, and Vircha, make the most populous urban area of Bolivia, with a population of 2.3 million inhabitants and surpassing the metropolitan area of Santa Cruz de la Sierra. History. Founded in 1548 by the Spanish conquistadors at the site of the Native American settlement, Laja, the full name of the city was originally Nuestra C plus or minus Hora de La Paz. The name commemorated the restoration of peace following the insurrection of Gonzalo Pizarro and fellow conquistadors 4 years earlier against Blasco Narvaez plus or minus Isvila, the first viceroy of Peru. The city was later moved to its present location in the valley of Chuquiago Marka. Control over the former Inca lands had been entrusted to Pedro de la Gasca by the Spanish King Emperor Charles V. Gasca commanded Alonso de Mendoza to found a new city commemorating the end of the civil wars in Peru. The city of La Paz was founded on October 20, 1548. In 1549, Juan Gutiérrez Paniagua was commanded to design an urban plan that would designate sites for public areas, plazas, official buildings, and a cathedral. La Plaza de los Espa plus or minus Ols, which is known today as the Plaza Murillo, was chosen as the location for government buildings as well as the Metropolitan Cathedral. Spain controlled La Paz with a firm grip and the Spanish king had the last word in all matters political. In 1781, for a total of 6 months, a group of Aymara people laid siege to La Paz. Under the leadership of Tupac Katari, they destroyed churches and government property. 30 years later Indians laid a 2-month siege on La Paz, where and when the legend of the Iqueco was set. In 1809 the struggle for independence from the Spanish rule brought uprisings against the royalist forces. It was on July 16, 1809 that Pedro Domingo Murillo famously said that the Bolivian Revolution was igniting a lamp that nobody would be able to turn off. This formally marked the beginning of the liberation of South America from Spain. Pedro Domingo Murillo was hanged at the Plaza de los Espa plus or minus Ols that night, but his name would be eternally remembered in the name of the plaza, and he would be remembered as the voice of revolution across South America. In 1825, after the decisive victory of the Republicans at Ayacucho over the Spanish army in the course of the Spanish-American Wars of Independence, the city's full name was changed to La Paz de Ayacucho. In 1898, La Paz was made the de facto seat of the national government, with Sucre remaining the nominal historical as well as judiciary capital. This change reflected the shift of the Bolivian economy away from the largely exhausted silver mines of Potosi to the exploitation of tin near oro, and resulting shifts in the distribution of economic and political power among various national elites. Geography. Located at 16 degree 30 euro squared 0 euro cubed s 68 degree 08 euro squared 0 euro cubed w, La Paz is built in a canyon created by the Chuqiyapu River, which runs northwest to southeast. The city's main thoroughfare, which roughly follows the river, changes names over its length, but the central tree-lined section running through the downtown core is called the Prado. The geography of La Paz reflects society. The lower areas of the city are the more affluent areas. While many middle-class residents live in high-rise condos near the center, the houses of the truly affluent are located in the lower neighborhoods southwest of the Prado. And looking up from the center, the surrounding hills are plastered with makeshift brick houses of those less economically fortunate. The satellite city of El Alto, in which the airport is located, is spread over a broad area to the west of the canyon, on the Altiplano. La Paz is renowned for its unique markets, very unusual topography, and traditional culture. La Paz is located in the valleys of the Andes, and is closer to the eastern split of the Altiplano region. Therefore, it is closer to the famous mountains such as the Illimani, Hana Potosi, Murata, and Ilampu. On the western side of the Altiplano Divide, about an hour to the west of the La Paz, is the site of the tallest mountain in Bolivia and ninth tallest mountain in the Andes, the Señora volcano. In July 1994, an earthquake rated at 8.2 struck just 200 miles north of La Paz. Part of the water supply is derived from glaciers, which are becoming a less reliable source of water. Districts and neighborhoods. Main neighborhoods and zones. San Giorgio, located in the 1st District and near Sapucaí, is one of the main residential and diplomatic areas of the city. It contains several buildings, both residential and offices, and embassies, including the Spain Embassy, the United States Embassy, the United Kingdom Embassy and others. One of the main streets of the city, Arc Avenue, starts on this zone. Sapucaí, located in the 1st District, Sapucaí is probably one of the oldest residential neighborhoods, 10 minutes from the center of the city. Despite the expansion and development of the area, this quarter maintained its residential property. In the last years, there has been an important commercial expansion, mainly on the surroundings of Abaroa Square, one of the many squares and parks of the zone. San Pedro, located in the 1st District, on the right bank of the Chuquiapu River and built around the Plaza de San Pedro, is home to numerous shops, businesses and small enterprises, especially printing, spare parts and auto maintenance and repair shops. San Pedro's Rodriguez Market remains as one of the most popular middle-class and oldest of the city. The San Pedro prison is here. Señora, the city's downtown area, in the 7th District, comprising the center of La Paz and principal roads of the city, like Arc Avenue, July 16th Avenue, Mariscal Santa Cruz Avenue and Camacho Avenue, the last one being the home of the headquarters of the principal banks and companies of the country. Casco Viejo, located in the 7th District, is the historic and ancient center of La Paz. It now houses museums, hotels, shops and buildings as the mayor city of La Paz and the Central Bank of Bolivia. In the old quarter is the Plaza Murillo, which is home to the Government Palace and the National Congress. Miraflores, in the 7th District, Miraflores District is separated from downtown by a long barrel and connected by the Bridge of the Americas and 2 avenues. Originally a residential zone, its growth has led it to become a major recreational center. It houses universities, hospitals and the Estadio Hernando Siles. Northern District, located in the 2nd and 3rd Districts, it has a significant industrial activity, being the Cervecería Boliviana Nacional, the most significant industry founded by Germans, and one of the city's biggest companies in the country. It connects La Paz with the city of El Alto by the autopista. Southern District, in the 5th District, has less height than the rest of La Paz. This area houses the most affluent and exclusive neighborhoods of the city, like Obrajes, Urbaví, Calacoto, La Florida and Achumani, among others. It has been benefited from steady economic growth and is now the second commercial and financial center of the city, housing international firms like Moody's, Citibank, ON Corporation, Huawei, Millicom International Cellular, Nissan Motor Corporation represented by Taiyo Motors, Pan American Silver Corporation, a Sumitomo Corporation branch, Ernst & Young, and the Mega Center, Bolivia's biggest shopping mall. Climate: at 4,000 m above sea level, higher parts of La Paz have an unusual subtropical highland climate, with subpolar oceanic characteristics. The whole city has rainy summers and dry winters. Nighttime temperatures range from cool to cold. Light snow flurries can occur in winter. The temperatures in the central La Paz, at 3,600 meters, and in the Zona Sur, at 3,250 am above sea level, are warmer. Owing to the altitude of the city, temperatures are consistently cool throughout the year, though the diurnal temperature variation is typically large. The city has a relatively dry climate, with rainfall occurring mainly in the slightly warmer months of November to March. February and March, the two cloudiest months of the year, both in late summer, receive a low daily average of 5 hours of sunshine. Conversely, June and July, the two sunniest months of the year, both in winter, receive an abundant daily average of 9 hours of sunshine. The seasonally uneven distribution of the year's annual precipitation often results in destructive mudslides experienced in summer, due to the copious amount of precipitation typically observed throughout the season. The wettest month is January while the driest month is June, the city receiving a monthly average of 130 mm and 5 mm of precipitation respectively. Colonial architecture. The city of La Paz has a consistently decreasing volume of colonial buildings, mostly centered around the vicinity of the Plaza Murillo. Due to a lack of funds and the inability of property owners to pay for restorations to colonial buildings, many have been torn down, or are in a dilapidated state. As historic buildings are more expensive to keep, landowners find it less of a burden to construct more modern buildings as opposed to keeping the old ones. Although there has been an increasing number of projects and propositions to restore some of the city's colonial buildings, the future of these historic edifices remains uncertain. Economy. The economy of La Paz has improved greatly in recent years, mainly as a result of improved political stability. Due to the long period of high inflation and economic struggle faced by Bolivians in the 1980s and early 1990s, a large informal economy developed. Evidence of this is provided by the markets found all around the city. While there are stable markets, almost every street in the downtown area and surrounding neighborhoods has at least one vendor on it. La Paz remains the principal center of manufacturing enterprises that produce finished product goods for the country, with about 2/3 of Bolivia's manufacturing located nearby. Historically, industry in Bolivia has been dominated by mineral processing and the preparation of agricultural products. However, in the urban center of La Paz, small plants carry out a large portion of the industry. Food, tobacco products, clothing, various consumer goods, building materials, and agricultural tools are produced. The tin quotations from London are watched in La Paz with close interest as an index of the country's prosperity. A third of the national revenue and more than half of the total customs in 1925 were derived from tin. In short, that humble but indispensable metal is the hub around which Bolivia's economic life revolves. The tin deposits of Bolivia, second largest in the world. Invite development. Sports. La Paz is the home of some of the biggest football teams in Bolivia. The Strongesta, founded in 1908, the club hosts some of its games and trains on their home stadium. It is the oldest team in Bolivia, and the one that has won the most tournaments during the 20th century. It has its own stadium named Rafael Mendoza after Don Rafael Mendoza, one of the most important presidents of the club. In 1968 an airplane accident took the life of almost all the players, but Rafael Mendoza made many efforts that allowed the team to rise again as one of the most important in the country. Club Bolívar, founded in 1925, it was named in honor of the Libertador Simón de Bolívar. The team has won most of the tournament's national and international championships in the last 20 years. In the year 1964 was a bad year, and it lost the category, playing the next year in the second category. La Paz FC. However, these three teams play the majority of their games in the city stadium, Estadio Hernando Siles. It is host to several other teams that play in the first and second divisions such as, Mariscal Braun, Always Ready, Municipal and Caco Petrolero. La Paz hosts the national football team and international games. Education. The city hosts some of the most important universities of the country. Tourism. La Paz is an important cultural center of Bolivia. The city hosts several cathedrals belonging to the colonial times, such as the San Francisco Cathedral and the Metropolitan Cathedral, this last one located on Murillo Square, which is also home of the political and administrative power of the country. Hundreds of different museums can be found across the city, the most notable ones on your copyright North Street, which street design has been preserved from the Spanish days and is home of 10 different museums. The home of the Bolivian government is located on Murillo Square and is known as Palacio Quemado as it has been on fire several times. The palace has been restored many times since, but the name has remained untouched. Principal attractions, museums and cultural centers. The former home of Pedro Domingo Murillo, martyr of the Independence Revolution of 1809, has been preserved and is now a museum. The house displays a collection of furniture, textiles, and art from colonial times. Museo Costumbrista displays ceramic dolls wearing traditional customs that show how was life in the early 19th century. Also on display are photos of old La Paz. Museo Nacional de Arqueología depicts a collection of artifacts of the Xionaku culture. Museo del Litoral displays objects from the 1879 war in which Bolivia lost its seacoast to Chile. Museo del Oro depicts pre-conquest works made of gold, silver and copper. Museo de Etnografía y Folklore, located in a house built during the late 18th century, it exhibits customs and art of two ethnic groups, Chupes and Aorios. Museo del Charango, located in Cali Linares, the museum displays an important variety of charangos. Other native instruments are displayed as well. Museo de Historia Natural exhibits on Bolivian paleontology, geology, zoology and botanical elements of interest. Casa Museo Marina Nuestra ± del Prado displays Quechua and Aymara theme sculptures by Bolivian artist Marina Nuestra ± del Prado. Museo Nacional de Arte, located in Cali Comcio, on a former palace built in 1775, displays works by Melchor Pérez de Higuaín and Marina Nuestra ± del Prado, among others. Mercado de Brujas, merchandise sold here includes herbs, remedies as well as other ingredients used in Aymara traditions. Feria de las Citas, this fair is celebrated for 2 weeks each year, beginning January 24. The central figure is a little god of abundance known as a gecko, which means dwarf in Aymara. Museo San Francisco Cultural Center, churches and cathedrals. Metropolitan Cathedral, built in 1835 and located next to the Presidential Palace, on Murillo Square. San Francisco Church, founded in 1548 and rebuilt 1784. Other attractions, Bolivian Presidential Palace, also known as Bern Palace. Parque Urbano Central, local festivals, January 24, Las Citas is a yearly fair where people buy miniature gifts and praise the god of prosperity, Chuquiapu. The fair begins every January 24 and lasts for a month. February 2, Virgen de Copacabana, May 1, San Jose Copyright Obrero, May 3, C+or de la Santa Cruz, May 13, Virgen de Fatima, May 14, San Isidro, Labrador, May 17, C+or de la Sentencia, May, Jesus, C+or del Gran Poder, June 13, San Antonio de Padua, June 24, San Juan Bautista, June 29, San Pedro Apacubstal, July 16, Virgin del Carmen, patroness of Bolivia and the armed forces of the nation Ephemerides of La Paz, July 25, Apacubstal Santiago. August 15, Virgin de Urquipia ± August 15, Virgin de la Asuncia Cubden, September 8, Virgin de las Nieves, September 8, Virgin de los Remedios, September 14, C+or de la Exaltacia Cubden, September 24, Virgin de la Merced, October 7, Virgin del Rosario, November, Cristo Rey, December 4, Santa Barbara, December 8, Virgin de la Concepa Cubden, Transportation, Air. La Paz is served by El Alto International Airport, which is situated 8 miles southwest of La Paz. At an elevation of 4,061 meters, it is one of the highest major airports in the world. Airport facilities include a bank, bars, car rentals, restaurants, free Wi-Fi internet and duty-free shops. The runway has a length of 4,000 meters. Additionally, it is the second airport in the Western Hemisphere, and the third airport in the world, to successfully pass the International Civil Aviation Organization's Universal Security Audit Program. Bus. La Paz Bus Station, originally a bus and train station, was built by the French architect Gustave Eiffel. It is the main gateway for intercity buses with several daily departures to all the main Bolivian cities, and routes to Chile and Peru. The city is connected by road with the city of ʻnwes from where there are routes to Sucre, Potosi and the south of the country. Another highway branches off before ʻnwes to reach Cochabamba and Santa Cruz. Roads to the west go to Copacabana and Tiwanaku, near Lake Titicaca, and continue to Cusco, Peru via the border town of Desaguadero. There are also roads north to get to Yungas crossing the Andes Mountains. Departures to smaller cities and towns within the department use informal stations located in Villa Fatima, Upper San Pedro and near the General Cemetery. Communications and media. The postal service is run by Ecobar, which is its headquarters in La Paz. There are other companies offering courier and transport logistics courier nationally and internationally. The private telecommunications company Intel is located in the city and provides telephony, internet, cell phone, data and voice services. The telephone cooperative Cotel is responsible for managing much of their phones and now offers internet services and cable television among others. Area code, 2, country code, 591. The main daily newspapers in circulation are, Página 7, La Razón, El Diario, La Prensa, Jornada and El Altia ±0. Other papers of local importance are, Extra and Gent. There are also several other publications and weekly magazines. There are 18 television channels with offices in La Paz. Channel 7 is state property. The main ones are, UNITL, ATB Bolivia, Red Uno, Bolivision, Red PAT. Channel 13 is managed by the Universidad Mayor de San Andrés. Two local companies offer cable television services Multivision and Cotel TV. International relations. Twin towns and sister cities. La Paz is part of the Union of Ibero-American Capital Cities from October 12, 1982, establishing brotherly relations with the following cities. Additionally, agreement was reached by twin cities with, in June 2008, a twinning agreement was signed with Zaragoza, Spain. La Paz has been a member of Mercosur Udades, a group of 180 cities within Mercosur, since 1999. Gallery. Curiosities. La Paz is the highest seat of government city in the world. El Alto International Airport is the highest international airport in the world. Passengers may notice the drop in pressure when the aircraft doors are opened. Water boils in La Paz at 88 degrees Celsius. La Paz has the highest certified Olympic stadium. FIFA issued a rule forbidding the organization of official matches in stadiums with an altitude of more than 2,500 meters because players may be at greater health risk due to decreased oxygen pressure, but excluded La Paz's Hernando Siles Stadium from that regulation after intense lobbying by Bolivian authorities. The La Paz Central Bus Station was designed by Gustave Eiffel, the designer of the Eiffel Tower. See also, Página ±, references. External links. Municipality of La Paz, Weather in La Paz, Bolivia Weekly.